I remember those last years of the Soviet Union as a dull, cold time. There were queues in the shops, patriotic songs playing on the radio. People spoke in half-whispers. The grown-ups talked about nuclear weapons, academician Andrei Sakharov, the war in Afghanistan. Cemeteries in Moscow were filling up with rows of fresh graves of lads in paratrooper berets, only a little older than I was. And my classmates and I understood that it was essential that we moved on to higher education so that we could defer military service. In November that year, 1982, Leonid Brezhnev died, and he was followed by a procession of different general secretaries. The Soviet Union entered a shadow world. The country died after a few more years, suddenly expiring, as often seems to happen to the state in Russia. It went out with a whimper, not a bang. But those school lessons on Hegel's philosophy stayed with me, as did the Shakespearean image of the mole of nature, and the desire to listen to its relentless digging, and to search for the logic in historical events. 40 years later, Russia is again waging a colonial war on the territory of a neighbor, Ukraine. Once again, patriotic songs are being heard. The rows of graves are lengthening. The fear of a nuclear strike has returned, and people are talking in kitchens in half-whispers. People were expecting this war. British and American intelligence warned it was going to happen, yet even so, hardly anyone believed that in the 21st century a major state, a member of the UN Security Council, would up and invade a neighboring country with large army units comprising some 250,000 people to try to seize its territory and depose the lawful government. It was as if we were still in the depths of the 20th century, or perhaps more accurately, the 15th or 16th centuries. Europe had seen nothing like this since 1945. If we look a little wider, we can remember only Saddam Hussein's invasion of Kuwait in August 1990. The war that Russia started in Ukraine in 2022 is a massive geopolitical rift and has signaled the collapse of the whole international security system. It is a tragedy for Ukraine, but also a disaster for Russia, which has been torn away from the global community, and now the country is in freefall.